My lovely greeting to my dear students. I'm sorry for being absent and I was supposed to deliver a lesson of argumentative paragraph, but we are not late. I can explain it right now. So we'll start first with what do we mean by argumentative paragraph. The argumentative paragraph presents a point of view and provides evidence for the point of view taken. It's like we don't have the point of view cannot stand alone. It must be persuaded with evidence. We have to prove that we are right, or at least we convince the reader. So the argumentative paragraph is an opinion supported by facts. Writers refer to opinions as claims and facts as evidence. So we have claims and evidence. The claim clearly states a stance on a topic or issue. This is obviously clear. And the evidence is to prove this claim that can include reasons, for example, statistics, confirmed facts, experts, research, and in some special cases, we have personal experiences, in case we are subjective in this paragraph, of course. So for the claim to be persuasive, I mean to be convinced or convincible, so an argument writer must support it with some effective evidences that come from a variety of credible sources. When saying credible sources, it means like statistics, as I said, from academic sources, evidences and facts. So these credible sources can be websites, for example, reports and articles developed by experts in a field, and in some cases it can be investigation or investigative journalists may also consider it credible sources if their research itself based on credible sources, of course. So here we're talking about credibility of the source. You don't say things from your mind. You don't state things that you're not sure of. Now we talk about the form. We were talking about the content, and now we're talking about the form of the argumentative paragraph. So, of course, we have topic sentence, supporting sentence, concluding sentences as all the paragraphs. And as I told you that we have claims and evidences, okay? You have to support or to refuse your point of view. We have refutation and support. So in the topic sentence, of course, you're going to identify what is being argued or being against. If you are with something, you have to show in the topic sentence that you are going to support your opinion. If you are against, of course, you're going to say, or you're going to mention, or you're going to to state that you are against this notion or this idea or this element or this anything that you are against. And now we move to the supporting sentences. We're moving to the arguments themselves, how your arguments are set, how your arguments are organized. The supporting sentences include facts, examples, appeals to the authority, or counter-argument to back up your point of view, for example. And it presents your reasons in order for importance from most important to least important. From the strongest one to the weak one. Okay, you start with the strongest argument. You have to convince the reader's mind. You have to grab the attention of the reader. You have to convince me or to persuade. When saying convince or persuade, convincing in terms of something, in terms of logic, okay, something logical. And persuading, if you're talking about personal experiences, for example, it's like you're persuading the reader. It's like you're touching his emotions or feelings. And moving to the concluding sentence. In the concluding sentence, you restate what is being argued or being against and why. It's like you don't change anything in the conclusion. If you are from first, you are with, you're going to conclude that you are with. It's like you precise it. It's like you ensure it. Okay, but you ensure it with the why. You ensure it with the reason. And this reason must be short. Okay. Never mind, this is only the explanation. Of course, later on I'm going to provide you with an example of the argumentative paragraph. And now we move to the most important thing, which are transitional words and phrases. As you know, that I consider them as spice to the dish. So we cannot make a paragraph without transitional words, because they're going to be the spice, are going to give a flavor to your meal. So the meal in here is a paragraph, of course. I'm starving, that's why I'm talking about food. Well, as you know that we have some transitional words or phrases for extending or adding an argument, to counter argument, to give reasons, to indicate results, and so on and so forth. I'm going to give you some of them. For example, if you want to add an argument, you can say also, furthermore, in addition, moreover. If you want to counter argument, it's like you being against, or you're going to converse the meaning. You say but, however, although, despite of the fact that, of course, nevertheless, despite, and in spite of also. If you want to give a reason, you say because, since, for this reason, for this notion, and so on and so forth. Even for indicating results, you already know is that you use therefore, as a result, thus, consequently, as a consequence, hence, accordingly. And also for indicating time and sequences of IDs, it's like we're talking about the chronological order of your arguments. You start with first and you state your argument, second, third, next, finally, at the same time, subsequently, in conclusion, in a neutral, all in all, to conclude. Okay, even if you want to clarify a point, you add in other words, and at the other hand, that is. Also, if you want to provide more detail or explanation, you can say, to be more precise, to add a further detail, in fact, indeed, more specifically, to go beyond specific notion, and so on and so forth. So that's all for the argumentative paragraph. It was a brief explanation, but very beneficial. And I repeat it for a million times. Never mind, I'm going to provide you with all the examples of all the paragraphs, and also you're going to submit your homework next Tuesday, inshallah. And yeah, that's all. Yes, صحفتركم.